Assalamualaikum and hi, my name is Muhammad Sarah binti Muhammad Syahidah. My matrix number DN240170, and I'm gonna explaining about first three topics, which is introduction to fatty acid and types of fatty acid in dairy products, and significance of fatty acid in natural product, which is dairy fats, and types of dairy fats. Assalamualaikum and hi, my name is Muhammad Sarah binti Muhammad Syahidah. My matrix number DN. Fatty acid are organic compounds composed of hydrocarbon chains and a carboxylic group. Fatty acid are normally bound to glycerol in the body to form mono, di or trigon. Based on the hydrocarbon chain, fatty acid are divided into saturated fatty acid and unsaturated fatty acid. And unsaturated fatty acid are further divided into monounsaturated and polyunsaturated fatty acid. Although the human body can synthesize many types of fatty acid, some essential fatty acids such as omega-3 and omega-6 must be ingested through the diet. Additionally, it has been proved that polyunsaturated fatty acid play a role in preventing cardiovascular disease, inflammation, autoimmune disease, depression, and neurological disease. Okay, so next we go to natural product in dairy fats. Fatty acids are the building components of lipid fats, which are often found as triglycerides. They provide a variety of roles in dairy products. They give a dense source of calories. They have a structural role in milk fat globules by forming cell membranes. In flavor and aroma, certain fatty acids contribute to the distinct flavor and fragrance of dairy products. However, nutritional impact influence health consequences. For example, saturated versus unsaturated fats. Physical qualities influence the melting point, texture, and consistency of items such as butter and cheese. Dairy fat found in natural products like milk, butter, and cheese is a complex mixture containing a wide variety of fatty acids, far exceeding the 5 primary fatty acids in typical dairy fat. Over 400 different fatty acids have been identified in milk fat, each with unique characteristics. These fatty acids play crucial roles, come in various types, and hold significant importance from nutritional, technological, and economic perspective. Okay, so next we go for types of fatty acid in dairy fat. Saturated fatty acid, common in milk fat, associated with firmness and solid fat at room temperature. For example, butyric acid and palmitic acid. Second, monounsaturated fatty acid, beneficial for heart health, affect texture and spreadability in milk and butter. Example, oleic acid. Third, polyunsaturated fatty acid, essential fatty acid, immune function found in milk, but in small amounts. For example, linoleic acid. Okay, so next we go for the roles of fatty acid in dairy products. Firstly, nutritional components. Fatty acid in dairy fat are vital dietary components, significantly impacting human health. They serve as a source of energy and contribute to the absorption of fat-soluble vitamins. Certain fatty acids like omega-3 and omega-6 polyunsaturated fatty acids are essential for various physiological functions. Secondly, technological properties. The fatty acid profile of milk fat influence the physical properties of dairy products such as melting point, hardness of butter, crystallization, and overall texture. These properties are crucial for the processing and manufacturing of different dairy items. Thirdly, bioactive compounds. Some fatty acids in dairy fat such as conjugate linoleic acid and certain short and medium chain fatty acid exhibit potential health benefit, including anti-carcinogenic and anti-atherogenic effects. Fourthly, energy source of dairy cows. In dairy farming, supplementing cows' diets with specific fatty acid is essential for meeting their energy demands, especially during lactation. Different fatty acids also can influence milk yield and quality. Okay, so next we go for significance of fatty acid in dairy fats, milk, butter and cheese. Firstly, nutritional significance. Fatty acid are a high energy source. Essential fatty acid omega-3 and omega-6 fatty acid are both essential for brain and cell function. CLA, conjugate linoleic acid, found in grass, fat, dairy, linked to anti-cancer, anti-inflammatory effect. 2. Sensory and flavor significance. Butyric acid is responsible for butter's distinctive rich, creamy taste. Cheese, as it ripens, free fatty acid provide distinct scents and strong taste. Milks contain fat, which contribute to a smooth, pleasant texture. Third, functional and processing significance. Butter's fatty acid composition affects its melting point, which determines whether it's breathable or solid. Milk affect cream separation and homogenization. Cheese has an impact on texture, hardness, and aging qualities.
Natural sources of fatty acid in dairy fats. So, natural sources of fatty acid, they are primarily come from ruminant animals such as cow, goat, and sheep. These fats contain mix of saturated, monounsaturated, and also a little or small amount of polyunsaturated. Okay, so we have 4 types of fatty acid, which is first saturated fatty acid. In saturated fatty acid, palmitic acid is most abundant fatty acid in milk fat. Next, myristic acid. Myristic acid were found in high amount contained in butter fat. Stearic acid is less abundant but still significant in dairy fats. And lastly, butyric acid. Butyric acid is unique to dairy fats and also gives distinctive flavor to a butter. Second, we have monounsaturated fatty acid. Monounsaturated fatty acid contain oleic acid that most found in olive oil but naturally present in dairy fat as well. Third is polyunsaturated fatty acid. Polyunsaturated fatty acid, we have linoleic acid, which is present in smaller amount compared to saturated fatty acid, and also monounsaturated fatty acid. Lastly, we have trans fatty acid. Tranexamic acid can be converted in the human body to CLA, which is conjugated linoleic acid. CLA were found in highest level in grass-fed dairy product that link to several health benefits. Biological importance of fatty acid in dairy fats. So first we have energy source. Fatty acid provide 9 kcal per gram, serving as a dense, which particularly during low carbohydrate states. Next is cell membrane structure. Phospholipid contain fatty acid, which are crucial for maintaining membrane fluidity and function. Third, signaling molecules. Certain fatty acids act as precursors to signal molecules which regulate inflammation, blood pressure, and also immune response. Fourth, transport fat-soluble vitamin. Dairy fats help during absorption of vitamin, which is vitamin A, D, E, and K. And lastly, developmental roles. Specific fatty acids like DHA are vital for brain development and visual function, especially for children in early development. Health benefit and of fatty acid in dairy fats. So first we have heart health. Full fat dairy product may not increase cardiovascular risk of disease and also might offer more potential protective benefits. Next, we have anti-inflammatory effects. CLA, which is conjugated linoleic acid, were found in dairy fats that has been linked to anti-inflammatory and also anti-cancer properties. Third is weight management. Full-fat dairy promotes satiety better than other alternatives such as low-fat dairy and helps in appetite control and weight management. Fourth, gut health. Butyric acid supports colon health and has anti-inflammatory effects on the gut lining. And lastly, we have metabolic health. Full-fat dairy consumption helps with lower risk of type 2 diabetes. Type 2 diabetes often preventable with a good care of nutrition in diet. So we have industrial application of fatty acid in dairy fats. So first, we have emulsifier and stabilizer. Dairy-derived fatty acid can be used to produce emulsifier for food processing. They help blend fat and water, stabilizing emulsion in dairy products like ice cream. And also suppress ester formed by reacting sucrose with fatty acid and used to stabilize emulsion and foams. Next, we have moisturizer and emulsion. Fatty acid like palmitoyl, stearine, and also oleic acid are used in lotion, cream, and soap for their moisturizing and skin softening properties. Lastly, we have biodiesel. Dairy fat like other animal fat which can be processed into biodiversity through transesterification. Dairy fats is not common like plant oil, but dairy fats also can be used as renewable resources. Next is pharmaceutical application of fatty acid in dairy fats. So we have lipid-based drug carriers, fatty acid and their derivatives such as liposomes and solid lipid nanoparticles are used to encapsulate drugs, enhancing bioavailability and also control release. Next, nutraceuticals. Dairy-derived fatty acids such as conjugated linoleic acid used as supplement for weight management, anti-inflammatory and antimicrobial agent. Lastly, anti-inflammatory and antimicrobial agent. These are short-chain fatty acids and are studied for their role in treating inflammatory bowel disease and also maintaining gut health. Some fatty acids show antimicrobial activity which are useful in topical ointment or wound healing formulation. Lastly, for the conclusion, fatty acid in dairy fats such as palmitoyl, stearine, and oleic acid plays a crucial role in both the nutritional value and functional properties of dairy products. They can be utilized as building blocks for producing effective emulsifiers and stabilizers, which enhance the texture, stability, and sensory qualities of dairy-based formulation. Through chemical and enzymatic modification, these fatty acids contribute to improved emulsion stability, mouthfeel, and shelf life, making them valuable components in dairy processing and product development. Thank you.